When Abraham was 100 years old and Sarah was 90, God performed a miracle. Sarah gave birth to a son, and they named him Isaac, just as God had promised. Isaac was the child of God's covenant, and Abraham loved him more than anything in the world. As Isaac grew, Abraham thanked God every day for the precious gift he had given him. Then, one day, God decided to test Abraham's faith. He called out, "Abraham." Without hesitation, Abraham answered, "Here I am, Lord." God then gave Abraham a command that would test his trust like never before. God said, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah. Offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will show you." Although Abraham's heart must have been heavy, he chose to obey God without questioning him. Early the next morning, Abraham saddled his donkey, gathered wood for the offering, took 2 servants with him, and set out on the journey with Isaac. For 3 days they traveled across the land until Abraham saw the mountain God had chosen in the distance. He turned to his servants and said, "Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there to worship, and then we will return to you." Abraham placed the wood for the sacrifice on Isaac's shoulders, while he carried the fire and the knife. Together, father and son walked up the mountain in silence, trusting that God had a purpose for everything that was about to happen. As they continued walking together, Isaac broke the silence. "Father," he said. Abraham replied, "Here I am, my son." Isaac looked around and asked, "We have the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham answered with unwavering faith, "My son, God himself will provide the lamb for the sacrifice." They continued up the mountain until they reached the place God had shown Abraham. There, Abraham carefully built an altar and arranged the wood upon it. Then, with a heart full of faith and obedience, he gently bound Isaac and placed him on the altar. Isaac trusted his father and did not resist. Abraham reached out his hand and took the knife, preparing to offer his beloved son to God. At that very moment, just before the knife came down, the angel of the Lord called out from heaven, "Abraham! Abraham!" Abraham immediately answered, "Here I am." The angel of the Lord said, "Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." Abraham immediately stopped. He looked up and saw a ram caught by its horns in a nearby bush. God had provided the sacrifice just as Abraham had believed. Filled with gratitude, Abraham untied Isaac and offered the ram as the burnt offering instead of his son. Then Abraham named that place, "The Lord."